One shot. One shot.
If it's the right cut for the body, you could minimize the alterations.
Sure.
Okay. There are a lot of guys who are using, say, J. Crews of the world, or people like an online sort of a setting where they're taking their measurements. Supposedly they're at home and they're sending it in. That's a little bit of concern.
How accurate is that? When
No,
they just
it's
send
not.
numbers in
Listen,
and then-
we have found that to be the case. I mean, my advice always to people when they're, especially like when they're renting tuxedos, God forbid, and when they're doing it, I tell them lie about the time that you need it. Go a week before. Pay for a week and a half rental if you can, just because you want to make sure that you have it a few days before to try things on.
I think that's such a great point. Get it a week. Lie about your wedding day, because things take time to look, to fit right.
I mean, we have a big wedding party recently we're doing where we said to the guy, listen, we'll take the measurements for you. We don't care where you get it from. And what he's doing is, as part of his bachelor party, we're having the guys under one roof. We're going there to measure them.
Right.
To make sure they have the proper measurements available for wherever the parts of the country they're going to get it from.
Well, that's fun. It's kind of like you make a little party out
That's
of it.
exactly what we
Have
do.
some drinks, some cigars.
Exactly. And, again, we'll offer that service as well. The day of the wedding, sometimes we'll go out and we'll make sure that everybody, is looking the part that they need to look the part.
Right.
But yes, there is lots of misinformation. A lot of these things that we have to be there to kind of educate and show.
To help them.
Yeah.
My wedding is a year away. How long should I order?
Okay. So we're in the age of, you've heard the
suit.
Godzilla brides, right? So
Right.
now we're in the age of, groomzillas. So now we have guys who've gotten much more conscientious in the last few years about how their appearance and looks are concerned. So on a bride, for example, the rule of thumb has always been the final fitting for a bride should be done approximately 2 weeks before the wedding, because brides notoriously change weight classes.
Sure.
Okay, and it's just it's not to be. It happens a lot. The stress of the event and all the things that lead into it. So we make sure the final fitting is done because you don't want any surprises day of it.
All right.
I think in men, in most cases, you need to be approximately, let's say, 3 months before the event. I will tell you, in a wedding setting. So you get the ring, you get the place, the catering and all that. The last thing usually happens is the groom starts, looking at things for themselves.
Right.
And there is always the last minute. I think that timetable has certainly moved. I think a minimum 3 months in advance, you have a vision or an idea where you need to be. The less people get involved, the better off it is. I think you do need the bride's input, obviously. My theory on this is very straightforward. The groom has to look distinctly different than the rest of the groomsmen.
Totally.
Okay? You could have the groomsmen coordinate to some degree, and there are various ways to do that, whether it's the flower arrangements, whether it's the boat. I mean, I think the age of sort of prom looks is really out for the weddings.
There's a lot of accessories that guys can wear, I think.
There are a lot of things that you can do to inject your personality into it without dominating the scene.
Yes.
Because it is still the bride. It's a bride's world, but I think the guys are getting a bigger chunk.
Good.
Oh no, we're getting a bigger chunk of it.
Yeah,
for sure.
And don't be afraid to use accessories. I mean, like you said, put your personal taste into what you're doing, whether it's a little pin, a bow tie, what do you call it?
Pocket square,
squares.
The Madman meets, Ryan Seacrest, that kind of a look. Absolutely.
Madman meets Ryan Seacrest.
Yeah, we certainly create those looks for you.
I like that. And talk about when they come in here, because I know sometimes they get overwhelmed. You got great clothing is everywhere. How do I know what kind of suit is best for me?
Okay, the first thing when a guy comes in here, besides the congratulatory, we're offering them a drink because we don't need to calm down a little bit. So now oftentimes they may have an idea of what they've seen. They looked at. Look, Oscars tend to inspire a lot of people. The Golden Globes. Believe it or not, the biggest things in the last few years, James Bond movies.
Yeah.
When people see what the James Bond look is like, that's like the old classic sort of a look. They have this inspiration to it. Then from there, we look at the body type because that's the third element in custom when you do it is not only. It's obviously budget, but it's the body type.
So we got budget, then what? What is our...
Well, the budget is creativity and imagination is the other one, okay? But then the body type, and we use the analogy. If a guy's got a size 13-inch shoe, he shouldn't really do a 15-inch bottom on the item. If he's got a really broad shoulders, maybe he doesn't need to do the skinniest lapel. I mean, there are balances that you have to sort of achieve in it. And a carbon copy mentality does not work. We can't make it. Everybody has an individual. Our job is to bring out that style.
Right.
So highlight the things that need to be highlighted. I mean, there are guys still out there. that they don't know, hey, listen, do I wear a belt with a tuxedo? The answer to it is really no, you shouldn't be doing it.
Right.
Nobody's really doing cummerbunds anymore. It's really been done, maybe suspenders is what we do, especially there's a lot of dancing involved to it. So the norms...
I like the suspended look. I think when you take the jacket off, that gives...
Well, I think it's necessary because you need to have something to hold your pants up.
Right.
Now, you can't reveal it if we do it in the right way. Suspenders are sort of off the side, and when you have the jacket on, you really don't see it.